part of my marketing and business building, query generation, client acquisition, brand building, I use social media quite a lot. And recently I've begun to use short form video. So this video that you're watching now is obviously on YouTube and is not a short form video as such. It's more long form, and it's in a landscape dimension or landscape orientation rather than portrait. Short form video is the likes of videos that you'll see on Instagram Reels, TikToks and YouTube Shorts. These videos, I believe, now are very valuable, not just from the point of view of building generation, building leads and building business and brand building, not just from the point of view of generating a base, a fan base or a follower base or a crowd base or whatever sort of way you might like to describe it or what moniker you put on them. There's an additional advantage of creating these short videos that I never thought of before, but I recognize it now. And I recognize it as a consequence of something that a barrister there, Martin Jurek BL, commented on a LinkedIn post of mine. He made the point there that his former master was Peter Kelly, the former president of the High Court. But he says, as my old master used to say, keep it tight. Peter Kelly, former president of High Court, used to say you should be able to outline the nub of your case in a sentence. I'm a firm believer that this idea that you should be able to tell your story, your case in one or two sentences is absolutely true. I think it's foundational to understanding the issues or issue that's involved at the heart of any case. And making videos for Reels, Instagram Reels, making videos for TikTok, making videos for YouTube Shorts, which generally must be less than 1 minute, I think is actually a very valuable exercise. And it's an advantage being able to encapsulate the essence of the point you're making, the piece of law you're referring to, the case you're referring to, the principle you are explaining. To be able to do that in a minute is actually a skill that is well worth acquiring and building and generating and working at. And that's what I'm doing. So not only am I building a decent base, a decent following and generating queries from the likes of Instagram Reels and TikTok and indeed YouTube Shorts, but I'm also getting my thinking even clearer in terms of being able to enunciate and explain a principle or a problem or a legal point in less than a minute, which I think is very, very useful. This is why I always ask people who want to meet me for a consultation to send me a brief synopsis. And often the brief synopsis ends up being 5, 10, 15 attachments with email chains, reports, correspondence, a huge voluminous amount of material, which I believe is completely useless, a complete waste of time, quite frankly. If you're not able to articulate or outline your issue, your problem, in a short, brief synopsis, in an email, in 1 page or half a page, or indeed in 2 or 3 sentences, as Peter Kelly, the master or the president of the High Court or the Commercial Court, advised his pupils, then you really need to think again about what the problem is. As I say, I think that in most disputes they're going to come down to 1 or 2 issues which are clearly identifiable. The context and background is all very well, but when the rubber hits the road and there's going to be a dispute or litigation or a case or a WRC case, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 issues. And being able to identify those issues is very, very useful. And making Reels, making TikToks for that reason is very useful as well. And it will help, I believe, in improving my thought process in enunciating exactly what I am trying to teach or trying to say in the reels themselves or in the TikToks. And the great thing about the short form video is that one short form video can be uploaded to TikTok, Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, and there's no editing required. And let's face it, by definition the short form video, which is going to be less than a minute, takes less than a minute to make. So it's very, very efficient, and I think, as I say, there's the side benefit then of forcing you to actually think about the essence of what it is you're trying to say, and I think that's very, very useful. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.